In today's video, we're going over my new Warzone top 5 guns. There's been some surprising changes after people have been doing some data mining to figure out what statistically are the best weapons right now. So we're going to jump into it. As always, if you enjoy, be sure to give it a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the notifications turned on, and let's hop into it. So our first gun we're taking a look at here today is going to be the DG58. So I know they actually changed the name on this thing. It was the DG56. Now it's the DG58. There's been some interesting changes, but apart from that, this is a top tier meta burst assault rifle. This brings back like Warzone 1 burst meta vibes. Like, it's insanely good. And also, for any guys out there that may be shadow banned right now, or you can't find a room, there's been an issue going on with Battle.net, myself included right now. I'm actually shadow banned because of Battle.net issues, along with a whole bunch of my other friends. So it's a bit unfortunate. But our first attachment here today is going to be the VT-7 Spitfire suppressor. And the reason we're running this is just keep us off the radar, keep that recoil control under control, increase our bullet velocity, of course, our range. Really great for extending out our range and making us undetectable. We really like that. Next up, we're gonna go through on the DG-56 LS18 barrel. So they changed the name of the gun, but they didn't change the name of the barrel. So that's a little bit funny. But anyways, we have the increase in bullet velocity and range, aiming out of sway, gun kit control, and recoil control with this thing here. So a super top tier barrel. I mean, you're gonna be absolutely just beaming people, and I'll of course get into the firing range and show you guys as well. After that, we're gonna go down through on the Bruin heavy support grip for gun kit control, aiming out of sway, horizontal recoil control, and firing aim stability. So this is once again going to stabilize the gun, because all we're really concerned with here is making this thing pretty much a certified laser beam. That's all we really want to do, is just make sure our follow-up bursts and our bursts are just very accurate. So we're gonna go down here, of course, and throw on that 60 round drum. I am a 60 round mag kind of guy, so this is kind of like right up my alley, but you guys should kind of do this really anyways. And then for our last attachment, we're gonna go up in here. We're gonna throw on the Choreo Eagle Eye 2.5 times. So I didn't have this yesterday. I did a little bit of grinding before. I played like 4 games of Warzone, and I somehow got shadow banned. So we're gonna go ahead and throw this one on here. So I managed to unlock this, but I'll show you guys when we hop to the firing range. It's just the top tier sight for running on your assault rifles and, you know, your LMGs for that matter. But this is my full build here for this thing, and let's actually hop into the firing range. So I'll show you guys here that even at close range, I mean, look at this. Close range, 2 bursts, medium range, 2 bursts, long range, 2 bursts, and I was not even like pulling down on the stick. So that recoil control and the follow-up burst you can get with this is nuts. Next, we're taking a look at a bit of a surprising one that I wasn't expecting, but the Striker, aka the first SMG you unlock in MW3, is actually really good. So the first attachment on here is gonna be that Shadow Strike suppressor, just kind of keeping us off the radar. That's normally a reoccurring theme with SMGs, is we just want the silencer that keeps us off the radar. We don't need any of these other ones down here that do different things like increasing our recoil control or bullet velocity, stuff like that, or damage range. All we really care about is just keeping ourselves off the radar. So that's why we have that. Now we're gonna go down here. We're gonna throw on the XRK Edge BW-4 hand stop. Basically just bolstering our overall mobility, movement speed, stuff like that. It's really solid. We're just trying to be super agile in close range. I mean, because obviously there's more movement. We're just trying to pretty much double down on that with our close range weapon. Now we're gonna go in here to the VLK Laser 7MW in the laser section. This is a tried and true attachment from Warzone 2, where we were just running this a lot, but aiming stability, ADS speed, and sprint to fire speed makes the gun more stable and makes you like quicker to bring your gun up and allows you ADS faster. I mean, you really can't complain about that. The only con is that it is visible upon ADS. So if you're corner camping or something like that, or ADSing a stairway, you may want to ADS a little bit off to the side so people don't see your laser pointing directly into a doorway or something like that. But you really shouldn't be camping anyway, so don't do that. Now we're gonna go down here. We're gonna throw on the 48 round mag here. You guys could definitely throw on the 60 if you really want to, but for mobility's sake, I don't really think you need a 60. And also 48 rounds is perfectly fine for an SMG. I mean, 40 pretty much would be kind of like the bare minimum, but 48 or 45 is just fantastic. So like even that between that 45 and 50 range, I mean, you're golden for an SMG and, you know, a secondary. And then lastly, we're gonna go up in here. We're gonna throw on the RB Cordless assault stock. I hope I just, or Crotalus, whatever you want to call it. Pretty much this stock right here. Gun kit control, ADS speed, and sprint to fire speed. Top tier stock right here, keeping us more mobile, and I mean, it helps the recoil control, so we really like that. So let's actually hop in here to the firing range. This is my full build, by the way. We're gonna show you guys how it actually performs. So we're not really using it long range, but of course close to medium range. Super easy control. Super easy control, great TTK, great fire rate, and I think even at longer range here, pretty easy to be able to control. So you're gonna be able to hit some shots, especially when that aim assist kicks in. I mean, it's gonna be easy when you're moving around. Great SMG, try this thing out. All right, so now we're taking a look here. Probably the biggest surprise out of anything, and that's gonna be the Fennec 45. Yes, the Modern Warfare 2 Fennec has actually statistically got the fastest TTK for an SMG in the entire game. Who would have thought? But after some data mining, they figured out that's the case. We got the optimal build here for it. So let's jump into it. So Shadow Strike Suppressor, of course, keeping us off the radar. That's all we really care about. Now we're gonna go down here and throw on the SL Skeletal Vertical Grip. So you guys remember that this gun was meta for like, I don't know, 100+ days or something like that, along with the RPK, that they tried to nerf this thing a plethora of times. And one of the things they did was nerf the recoil. So we actually have this grip on here, which very much so helps out the recoil, makes this thing incredibly usable. So, I mean, this is just really awesome, and we really like this specific foregrip. But we're gonna go down here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna throw on the .45 auto high grain rounds. So no enemy skulls, which is, I guess, cool, but we really care about that increase in bullet velocity and damage range, which is what helps makes this thing TTK so good, is because you extend out the damage range, your shots register faster. I mean, that's just kind of what makes this thing much better than probably would be otherwise. Now we're gonna go down and we'll run that Fennec 45 round mag. Of course, I mean, that's the only option we really got, minus this stupid double tap mag mod. That's just a bunch of bullets. Don't ever even try to go for that. So Fennec 45 mag is what we got right there. And then lastly, we're gonna go throw on the Agile Assault T7 stock. Yeah, I think that's what it's called right there. But aim walking speed, aim outside speed, crouch movement speed, and of course, sprint speed. So this is really, really solid. And this is my full build. Here's my overview. Now let's get into the firing range. I like showing you guys how these things perform. But I mean, close range, I mean, medium range, you can see, I mean, it's certified filthy. So definitely use this. I can see it as being probably used for a while. It's really good. Next up, now we're taking a look at the Bas-B. So it's one of the very first battle rifles you happen to get. And this thing is a certified laser beam as well. And of course, we got a top tier loadout for it. First attachment is that VT-7 Spitfire suppressor. It keeps you undetectable by the radar, of course, but increasing recoil control, bullet velocity, and damage range. So it's just the Spitfire is kind of like that. I want to call it like the agency suppressor, the monolithic suppressor of this game. It's just the VT-7 Spitfire. That's kind of what it is. It's the go-to for all of our suppressor needs on our longer range weapons. After that, we're gonna go throw on the Bruin Venom long barrel, increasing our bullet velocity range, recoil control, aiming idle sway, and of course, gun kick control. So fantastic right here. Makes us more effective at range, and that's what a battle rifle is for anyway. So we're not trying to like convert this, you know, to an SMG or something like that, like we maybe would with a Chimera from Warzone 2. That's definitely not what we do with this thing. Though it actually does kind of look like the Chimera or the Honey Badger when you use the iron sights. Now we're gonna go down here, throw on the 45 round mag. That's just kind of the biggest mag we got. And of course, this is a full auto weapon. And you should be firing it in full auto, not in semi. So you're always gonna want to use that 45. So go ahead and do that. Now we're gonna go up in here. We're gonna throw on that Choreo Eagle Eye 2.5x once again. This is just the go-to, kind of like your Axle arms from, you know, way back in the day. Your was it the VLK 4 times or VLK 3 times? And then we had like obviously back a little bit in Warzone 2. We can even scroll back in here, like the SE Recharge or Aim Op, stuff like that. So this is kind of like another go-to optic here for our guns. And then lastly, we happen to have the Ravage-20 heavy stock. So increasing our gun kit control, recoil, and of course, firing aiming stability. Of course, at the cost of some mobility, but that's okay because we don't really care about that. We just care about stabilizing this thing out, as it is an absolute powerhouse. Now we're gonna get into that firing range. So I'll showcase this to you guys. I mean, pulls up just a little bit, but all you gotta do is basically pull down on the stick, and I mean, you're gonna be golden. So it's got a tad bit of recoil, but it's, like I said, as soon as that aim assist kicks in, there's always more aim assist on people than there is on the firing range. You're gonna be golden. And for our last gun here today, we're gonna be taking a look at the DG58 LMG. So we had the burst, now we have the LMG. So go figure, both of them are incredibly good, but we had a fantastic build here. This is kind of like an assault rifle, but it's an LMG. So we have the VT-7 Spitfire here. You guys know what this does, so I'm not gonna explain it. We're gonna go up in here. We're gonna throw on the Woody long barrel. That's a kind of a crazy name for it, but basically increasing aiming idle sway, bullet velocity and range, recoil control, and gun kit control. Solid stuff. And we're gonna go down, throw on the Bruin heavy support grip, which is definitely necessary to kind of stabilize this thing out. But gun kit control, aiming idle sway, horizontal recoil, and firing aiming stability. We lose a little bit of that vertical recoil control, but we don't really have that much to begin with. And then ADS speed, we don't really care about that. I mean, it's an LMG / assault rifle, so it doesn't really matter that much. Now we're gonna actually go back here. Once again, we're gonna run that Choreo Eagle Eye. Like I said, it's our go-to here for all of our guns. So y'all should definitely be throwing this thing on there on for a large majority of your long-range builds for right now. That's just kind of what we're running for the meta. And then lastly, we're gonna go throw on that recoil reduction butt plate. So basically all this does, gun kit control and recoil control, makes it more of a laser beam at the cost of some mobility, which is of course necessary, I mean, for this thing to do what it does. So this is my full build, and let's get into the firing range and kind of finish this thing off, show you guys how good it is. So close range, medium range, you can have a little bit of recoil, of course. Long range, you can have a tad bit of recoil. But I mean, this thing to me is very, very easy to be able to use, and you're gonna absolutely love it. So that's been my top 5. You guys enjoyed, give it a like for the algorithm, subscribe for more, and of course check out this other video on screen. I'll see you guys all next time, and hopefully I'm not shadow banned by then.